mathematicians. Today we're going to be learning about fractions, more specifically about multiplying fractions by fractions. To get us started, we have 1 over 2 times 2 over 5. And first, we're going to take each one of these and model it. So we have 1 over 2. That would be modeled by one shaded part out of 2 equal parts. And then we have 2 out of 5, which would be modeled by 2 shaded parts out of 5 equal parts. And in order to multiply these, we have to take both of these models and overlap them. So starting with our first model, which is 1 over 2, we're going to then take our second model and put it on top. Now notice that when we overlap them, there are shaded parts that are overlapped, such as these two. So that would give us our numerator of 2 for our answer. And notice that when we overlap them, now instead of having 2 parts or 5 parts, we have 10 parts. So that's how we get 2 out of 10. So 1 over 2 times 2 over 5 is equal to 2 out of 10. And now what we're going to do is simplify this fraction. We can divide both the numerator and the denominator by 2. 2 divided by 2 is equal to 1, and 10 divided by 2 is equal to 5. So 1 over 2 times 2 over 5 is equivalent to 1 over 5. Now, if we didn't have our model, what we would do is go ahead and multiply the numerator times the numerator, and 1 times 2 is equal to 2. And then the denominator times the denominator, which would give us 10 because 2 times 5 is equal to 10. Now for multiplying, the denominator does not have to be the same. And then we take our 2/10, and because we could simplify that, we're going to go ahead and divide both the numerator and the denominator by 2, giving us 1 out of 5. So here we have another example. We have 2 over 3 times 4 out of 5. And this time we're only going to use one rectangle. And we're going to start off with this denominator, which is 3. And just take a rectangle and split it up into 3 equal parts. So notice here we have 1, 2, 3 equal parts going horizontally. Then we're going to take our second fraction and split it up into 5 equal parts, but this time we're going to do that vertically. So we're going to split it up into 5 parts vertically, and notice here how we have 5 parts going down. Then we're going to focus on our numerators. So we have 2 out of 3. So on the side we have 3 parts, and we're going to shade in 2 of these parts horizontally. Then looking at our second fraction, we're going to shade in 4 parts, but this time we're going to shade them vertically, okay? And here in purple, we could see where the shading for both intersect, and that would help us come up with our solution. So here in purple, we have 8 parts shaded from both, and then now we have 15 parts in total. So this rectangle has a total of 15 parts. So our answer is 8 out of 15. Now, if we didn't have our model, we would have to go ahead and multiply our numerator by our numerator, which is 2 times 4, and that would equal 8. And then multiply our denominator by our denominator, which is 3 times 5 is equal to 15. And we got the same answer here, 8 out of 15. So let's do another example. Here we have 3 over 4 times 1 over 6. We're going to take a rectangle and split it up into 4 parts horizontally. All right, so here's our 4 parts. And then we're going to split it up into 6 parts vertically. So that's our 6 parts vertically. And now what we're going to do, out of these 4 parts horizontally, we're going to shade in 3. So that's 3 parts shaded in going across, so horizontal. And then for 1/6, we're going to shade that in vertically, 1 part out of 6, and then see where they intersect, where the shading intersects. And that intersects right here. And where it intersects, we have 3 parts. And in total, we have 24 equal parts. So our answer is 3 out of 24, which can be simplified if we divide the numerator and the denominator by 3. 3 divided by 3 is equal to 1, and 24 divided by 3 is equal to 8. So 3 over 4 times 1 over 6 is equal to 1 over 8. Now, if we did not have our model, we would have to go ahead and multiply our numerator by our numerator. 3 times 1 is equal to 3. And then multiply our denominator by our denominator. 4 times 6 is equal to 24. We get 3 over 24 just like we did previously. And now we have to simplify it by dividing the numerator and the denominator by 3, giving us an answer of 1 over 8. Now here we have our final example. 2 out of 5 times 3 over 8. We're going to take our rectangle and split it up into 5 equal parts horizontally. So that's 5 equal parts. And then split it up into 8 equal parts vertically. So that's our 8 equal parts. And for 2 out of 5, we're going to shade in 2 pieces out of 5 horizontally. So that's 2 out of 5 shaded. And for 3/8, we're going to shade in 3 out of 8 parts vertically. And in purple, we could see where our shading intersects. So it intersects at 6 pieces, so that's why 6 is our numerator. And we have a total of 40 pieces here, so that's why that's our denominator. And 6 over 40 can be simplified if we divide both the numerator and the denominator by 2. 6 divided by 2 is equal to 3, and 40 divided by 2 is equal to 20. So 2 over 5 times 3 over 8 is equal to 3 over 20. Now, if we didn't have this model, we would go ahead and multiply our numerators. So 2 times 3 is equal to 6. And then multiply our denominators. 5 times 8 is equal to 40. And this could be simplified by dividing both of these by 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3. 40 divided by 2 is 20. And that's it. So that's it for multiplying fractions by fractions.